Welcome in to the casual gaming conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. Big week here. First time using the new microphones. We're coming through crispy.
Yeah, this is weird. It's delightful. We're really excited. This all just goes back to January 5th and like what we were saying of like this, what your guys' money is doing right now is not just creating a better product, but it's allowing us to actually sort of stake our claim on podcasting, the industry, and be like, hey, we actually are professionals. And like,
we are not professionals.
I know we have a thing called a horny jail, Connor, but like it's still unbelievable that like we get to have these conversations. And thank you guys just so much because it's terrific. We're very, very, very thankful. Hopefully the audio sounds as good as we believe it to be. Literally, if you went back like in podcasts before, you'd be like, holy smokes, because I've done some test on the like actual differences, and there's large differences, especially with our background audio. Right now you're probably not hearing my fridge in the background or the laundry downstairs or any of that, so
yeah,
we're very thankful.
So we're stoked on that. We got the new mic set up. We got a Rodecaster. The camera hopefully will be coming soon, so for the visual listeners, that will hopefully be improving as well. But we're taking it one step at a time. It's been a learning process. We're getting there.
Yep.
But it's honestly not been that bad. Right?
No, there's been a couple of things that like a lot of the pre-research for the audio stuff was very helpful in this, knowing exactly how to plug things in, how to go and do presets. I probably watched like a good hour and a half of just like YouTube videos on these mics and the soundboard we're using, and it's terrific. So we're very, very thankful. Like we just can't stop like testing and freak out about it. So
yeah, it's fun new toys. But this is the Casual Gaming Conversation, a podcast where Nick and I come with our hot takes, our draft at the end. We got a good one for you this week. We're doing video game weapons, which is going to be interesting. There's a lot of directions you can go with the weapons draft.
I was calling at least 2 games series we pull from. Like we each get one from that game series.
Okay.
Yep.
So multiple weapons from
game series. I'm calling 2 of those.
I know exactly which ones they are.
100%.
That's funny. And then we're doing a mailbag episode this week. You guys submitted your questions. I pulled 12 of them. Not all of them are gaming related. Most of them are, but we'll have a fun little discussion there. We'll do these every once in a while. I'm stoked to have you guys more involved. So I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I also want to state that we did promise quarterly Q&As. This is not taking place of that. Q&As could be anything about gaming or like life.
Right there.
Thanks, buddy. These nice mics, now we're picking up on those. But yeah, it could be game related or non-game related. These are mainly 2 in a row. These are mainly gaming related, and yeah, we're still gonna do that once a quarter. Me, Connor, and Brady together will answer Q&As. So that'll be fun.
Honestly, they're mostly gaming related, but there's like 4 non-game related questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. They're all related to the channel for the most part, though. And then, we're doing a quick little Tekken 8 review as well. But we're gonna.
Oh my god, dude!
We're gonna kick it off with our hot takes. Do you want to go first on this bad boy, or
sure? My hot take for this week is very simple. Racing games need to be played by more people and more of a casual audience than they currently are being played as. Racing games and fighting games have been built up in a way to be like, you're either all in or you're all out, and you don't really like dip a toe in. There's this little thing, Connor, it's called a Game Pass, and it has some of the most fun racers of all time on it. The Forza series, to be able to hop in for $10 is an unbelievable package, whether it's Horizon or Motorsport. Super fun. People need to play more racing games because the fun that you get in games like Mario Kart, or even if you're at an arcade and you're just like whipping a car around, the fun is there, but a lot of people don't go that extra step and try out these extra games. More people need to do this, please, please God. It's a short, simple hot take, but I'm at the point that I'm at my wit's end about people dissing these racing games.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. But, I mean, I'm not a hater actively, but I don't really want to dip my toes in for the most part.
The thing that I like consistently think of is it's a Xbox showcase, it's a PlayStation showcase. GT shows up, Forza shows up, and people are just like, like, and then they sort of like just turn it off. I'm like, dude, it's you don't need to be super excited about the trailer or anything like that, but these games are so intrinsically so fun that I'm like, these are 8.5, 9, or 10 out of 10 games. Like, these are some of the greatest games of all time, and we're just shrugging them off because it's a genre that doesn't really fit for certain gamers. But I think a big reason it doesn't fit is because people just don't try. Where I'm like, everyone loves Mario Kart. Why don't more people get in on these other racing games that are... Forza Horizon's as casual as it gets. It's literally you're just driving around Mexico having a blast. Like, it's unbelievable. So I just don't. It bothers me a little bit. But I'm okay with it. I can live with it. That it's not for everyone. Certain gaming like thoughts are not for everyone. But for me, I'm upset.
Yeah,
I want it.
I don't necessarily disagree, but I'm not. I'm the problem. I'm
Yep.
not the solution.
Totally.
I don't like racing games.
But like,
I'm not going to force myself to play something that I don't like.
I know, but
I know that I don't like.
Do you really know though? Because you love Mario Kart.
Yeah, but
when was the last time
Forza.
When's the last time you picked up a Forza game though?
I played Horizon
5.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's so good.
It's good. It's fun.
It's one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah.
50 greatest games of all time, and at number 4, Forza Horizon 5. No,
not on my list.
Not on your list.
All right, my hot take. My gaming hot take for this week: Kefka better than Sephiroth, and that's a fact, Jack.
Don't go into too many spoiler territories because I actually don't know a ton about Kefka as of right now with my FF9 playthrough that I'm doing on stream every single Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I'm just gonna really loosely kind of discuss this, and like I don't have like a huge major like
thesis.
Yeah, there isn't like a lot of depth here. Just it's totally preference based, I think. But I think Kefka is way more interesting, way more villainous, and sometimes being straightforward is more interesting than being this like complex, brooding character like Sephiroth is. Like Kefka's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And that makes him more interesting and more villainous and a better antagonist for the game, especially with the results of what he's trying to do and how it all pans out. Like that arc, for those who know, like is really interesting for video games in general, for media in general, to have a villain end up where he ends up and have his arc. So I think that Kefka's fucking awesome. I think Sephiroth's a little baby whiny bitch.
The way that I sort of see it,
it was me bunching over or something. They're like, who cares? Like, get over yourself.
The way I like thought about this as someone that has not finished FF9, but understands Sephiroth's story extremely well, is it almost feels like the way you describe Kefka is Joker versus Darth Vader in the grand scheme of villain history.
Kinda.
Where it is, you got pure evil, and then you got like, he's really evil, but the background story like sort of makes sense for him.
Yeah, there's some depth there, which depth is cool and interesting or whatever, and I do like Sephiroth, but I think Kefka's just a better antagonist. Like, when you like... For like the definition of the word antagonist, it's like that's Kefka. You know what I mean? Whereas like Sephiroth has like some redeeming qualities because of his backstory, and it's like, well.
But have you like seen the scene from Crisis Core where they're on the giant cannon and they're just fucking sword fighting Genesis versus Sephiroth? Oh my god! And Angeal.
Angeal, yeah.
Angeal. Yeah, no, that's a great call. I adore Sephiroth as character. I also it doesn't get, there's not a better villain theme across all media than One Winged Angel.
And then the fucking laugh, dude. Kefka's laugh. It's like there isn't like voice acting in 6 or whatever, but his laugh is voice acted technically. It's like it's really funny. He'll be like off camera or whatever, and you'll hear the laugh, and you're like, oh, shit's about to go down, and then he'll come in. Yeah, I love Kefka. He's fucking awesome. Play Final Fantasy VI if you haven't. It's excellent. It's better than 7.
Yep.
By a lot. All right. We're going to get into the Tekken 8 review. I want to set this up nicely.
Yeah. This is the normal thing. This is a full review.
Talk.
This is a TikTok. This will get broken out for TikTok.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Nick, you have beaten Tekken 8, played a bunch of online, and done a bunch of the challenges. What is your review for Tekken 8?
Connor, I have a little surprise for you. This is the secret that we've been discussing on Twitch. I have played Tekken 8, I've beaten Tekken 8, and I platinumed Tekken 8, my second ever platinum.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that
was fast.
Yeah. I played about 15 hours of Tekken 8 in the past 3 days. I've had a blast with this game. I have never beaten a Tekken story before this. I want to make this very clear that I am a novice when it comes to fighting games as a whole. I love fighting games. I enjoy playing fighting games, but I'm not super in depth when it comes to fighting game history and Tekken, the series as a whole. Want to make that very clear off the rip. With that being said, this is one of the best fighting game packages I've ever seen. The playable content is unbelievable. The story is ridiculous. In the online gameplay, I'm already so addicted. I just want to hop immediately back in. First point, story. This is a Nick story. This is a story made for me. Stupidly ridiculous. If you've not played Tekken before, they do a great job. There are 7 vignettes explaining the series. Takes you about 15 minutes to get through if you want to go through literally every single story. But you get a pretty good idea. A lot of people get thrown off a lot of cliffs.
Yep.
Then we hop into this story. It's Jin versus Kazuya. It's ridiculous. That is the main driving force of the story. You have tournament arcs. You have ridiculous battles on asteroids. It's one of the coolest, most stupid things ever. And the only thing that I can truly compare it to is anime, Fast and Furious. Those are 2 genres of things that I enjoy immensely, where it's all about family and it's all about doing cool shit and the devil and becoming more powerful, and all of a sudden it's unbelievable. It's so fucking cool. The story's terrific and it allows you to play as multiple different fighters. I wish, and this is where a tick is going to come off my score. I'll give my score in just a moment. A tick's going to come off my score a little bit. You don't get to play as many fighters as I would like in the story mode. The story mode isn't where you're really diving deep on the characters. There is a different mode that allows you to dive deep on literally every single character. I wish you got to play more time with these other characters that is not just Jin. With that being said, story mode's ridiculous. It's great. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. Then there is the character vignettes. This is where you get to actually dive in and play as each individual character and see what would happen if they won the King of Fighters tournament. Absolutely terrific. You get to play the matches leading through the tournament. You win the tournament, and then it gives you a little snapshot of what would life be if they won. Whether it is sweet and super nice, like some of the characters display themselves to be, or for some of the batshit insane characters, it's a batshit insane ending. It's terrific. I adore this mode because this actually allows me to get through all the characters. I've now played every single one of them. For the platinum, I had to play a lot of them, and they're delightful. With that also being said, there's also an arcade mode where you step into the arcade. You are like a character that's animated. You look goofy as hell, and you get to basically do a Pokemon gym battle where you go through a tournament. You got to beat this person that's running this arcade area, and then you go to the next one and the next one, and then you climb your way up. This is where I found the sweet sauce of this game, where the story's short. Those vignettes, they're pretty short. I beat all those in around 6-ish hours. This took me around 4 or 5 hours to get through all of the gyms, basically. Adored every second of it. This is where I found my main victor. This is where I upgraded, leveled, and felt powerful, started to understand the combos way better. If you were to play this game, I recommend playing this first and not the story first, because there's tutorials that allow you to play the game way, way better. And yeah, this is just one of those packages that I'm going to come back to this whenever I have the free 15 minutes.
How's the online?
The online scene is terrific. I will won about 40% of my games, which it should be around 50-50 when you're playing an online game. I've played around 30, 40 online matches at this point. A lot of ranked, a lot of quick play, a lot of group matches, just to understand what the differences were. The online's terrific. They understand that hey, if you suck at this game, we're going to pair you with people that suck at this game. And as someone that is not terrific at fighting games, it's all right. To play people that are not terrific at fighting games.
What's the score?
On the Co-op 64 scale, I was sitting between these two numbers, and at the end of the day, the story's terrific. It's batshit insane. This is a fully complete package for what a fighting game could be, especially compared to something like MK1. The mechanics are as deep as humanly possible. The music is terrific. Drives some of the most emotional moments in this game that I was losing my mind from hype. On the Co-op 64 scale, I can confidently give this a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. It is one of the best fighting games I've ever laid my hands on. I cannot wait to learn more combos. For the platinum, I had to go and go through a combo developer where it's plays this person's combo and learn through combos for them. So cool, unbelievable package. It's one of the best games that if this was on my sheet from last year, it would easily be in my top 10. Mm-hmm. It would not be in the top 6. But it wouldn't be number 10 either. It's a really, really good game. And at the end of the year, I believe that it will be even higher than a game like Prince of Persia for me, which is unbelievable because I was like, damn, that game is terrific. Story didn't hit too much. The gameplay mechanics in this game are so freaking good. They even go toe-to-toe with something like that is an in-depth, terrific Metroidvania experience, even though it's a shorter package.
And what is your favorite thing about Tekken 8?
My favorite thing is that this game is one of the most serious, in-depth fighting games of all time, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. It allows you to go, and if you just pick up the controller like you did yesterday during our 12-hour stream, you can hit that L1 and have a great time using the special style, which is just a smaller move set. But for me, I was playing against people online that were using special style, and I was dominating them. The moments that this game gives you also is just something I have to say. It was 1 a.m. last night. I win the first 2 rounds of an online match in close bouts. Then this person turns the jets on me, goes perfect. We were in the final round, and we both get down to that final health bar. We both have blocked each other's rage attacks, and I'm losing my mind. I go hit her up and then come through with a side square, and I knock them out. Goes KO, and I was like, this is one of the most satisfying feelings I've had in gaming in a very long time. This game is terrific. 9 out of 10. If you are not super into fighting games, I recommend picking this up if you want to get into fighting games. And if you want to just play casually with friends, there is great modes and things that you can play throughout this game that make it a lot more feasible.
Yeah, I had a blast playing it last night, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fighting game guy, but I could definitely see myself. I really wish you bought this
Physical.
so I could borrow it.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm willing to pay $70 for this, but it's really cool that it's hitting.
I could see you coming over and playing through the story and this potentially reaching your top 5 list or top 10 list at the end of the year. Same with Brady. Brady legitimately after stream was like, this was awesome.
Yeah,
so
that was I was worried that it was going to kind of drag during that time because that was our first thing on the stream that me and Brady were on, and it just flew by.
It flew by. It was so much fun. The laughs, the hype moments, like this game.
I was getting clapped.
Yeah. Well, like you, the first thing you did was you turned on special style, you smoked me, and then you turned it off, and you still got me. But then when I started settling into my combos and like remembering how to play this game the way it needs to be played, I think I was a little just nervous on the fact that I was like, I cannot lose to these guys after playing 9 hours of this last night. This game is terrific. And for I assume that we finished the TikTok aspect of this. For the people watching the podcast, I cannot recommend picking this game up enough if you have deep interest in fighting games like myself, where like I have deep interest, but I haven't played a lot. This game does such a good job bringing through the series, having those hype moments. Like it sort of meets you where you're at in a terrific way. And as someone that is as quote unquote casual with fighting games, unbelievable package. I'm so very thankful about playing this game. We're fully in review season basically, where it was Persona is coming up, and Grand Blue Fantasy and Tekken and Prince of Persia, Helldivers, Foam Stars. I'm so thankful I got to play this. I would much rather be playing this and going and making my weekend like completely full because it was full of awesomeness. Like it was terrific.
Right on.
Okay, you like that little surprise? I platinumed this fucking game.
That's a big surprise.
Can you not believe it?
No, I can believe it.
Yeah, dude.
That's
awesome. Last night it was 2 a.m. I have everyone in the Discord and they're just like, "This is gonna be fucking awesome." The podcast. Because I
was surprised.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it only takes that long.
You have to start trophy hunting at a certain point where like you beat the story that gets like a good quarter of them out. You beat all the other modes, that gets another like 60% out, and then you got to go and play like some practice mode. You got to go through the combo thing that I said. It was a very fun and rewarding platinum. The only thing that I didn't enjoy was Tekken Ball, which is it's a small mode. It's really dumb. It's where there's a ball between you and a fighter, and you have to like hit the ball to hit the person, and you had to do one trophy for that. Other than that, every single trophy felt rewarding, making me better. And then there was like cool things like do a floor smash where like you like burst through a floor, and you can only do it on certain levels, and those levels are like, it was cool to go and do a fight where you get to see that. If I wasn't looking for the trophy, I went for a couple of maps. A lot of fun.
Right on. I'm a little EP. I'm all of a sudden got hit with the tired's.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Late night last night. Long stream yesterday too.
Yeah.
But still good.
So I was up till 4 the first night, and then I was up till 3 last night.
Damn.
Yeah, and then I streamed 12 hours in between that.
You're crazy.
Yesterday was one of those days, and I'm like, we do really cool
You
shit.
still got to beat Halo.
I still got to beat Halo. I got to beat it before the end of January because that's my January game.
I guess we can discuss real fast. Nick, you're playing Halo on your side. I'm playing Banjo-Kazooie right now for the first time. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. It's obtuse like most N64 games are on like exactly where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do. But with the little guy up next to me, I'm not having a bad time. I think I'm like a fourth of the way done. But
I'm having a good time with Halo.
I gotta get it done though in the next 5 days.
Yeah, we're both literally up against it. Currently, we don't have any codes for anything, and so we understand that we're playing these games on release day and having to, for my case, Granblue, depending on the length, after I get a confirmed length of this game, hopefully I beat it in a similar fashion to Tekken, where it's Friday, get off work, and I am playing Granblue Fantasy for 25 straight hours, and we're shooting the pod on Sunday.
Oh, no way. I mean, I don't want you to like rush through it,
Connor,
and like not be able to.
I played almost 15 hours of Tekken, and I only played an hour and a half during. Like I played 13 hours anyways, and I had a 12-hour stream. I could totally do it.
Yeah, I guess. All right, we're gonna jump into the listener questions. We're doing a mailbag this week. I took these questions from a TikTok post that I put out asking people to write in because there was like 50 questions or 50 responses, and I have narrowed it down to I think 12 or 13. So we're just gonna go one by one and take them as they are and try to give some fun answers to these. Some of them are video game related, most of them are video game related, and then some of them are
Co-op 64
related. But they're all good. So let's get into it. From Alex the Golden, if you could combine 2 to 3 games to mix together that would make your perfect game, what would they be? Want to kick this one off? Or do you?
Yeah, I think I got this one pretty on lock at this point. I think at the end of the day, I want a Tears of the Kingdom open world level game that has the voice acting and story of The Last of Us.
Okay, we're just doing 2 games?
I'm just doing 2.
Okay.
Because I want that combat loop either to be the gunplay of The Last of Us or the swordsman fantasy play of Tears of the Kingdom. But what I need, like, basically I want a Zelda. I want Zelda to have voice acting and a story that's important. And I think that they kind of got close with Tears of the Kingdom for the first, like, that open world, the vignettes that you get for the story pieces are really good, but I want that more integrated actually into the gameplay.
Right.
That's where my mind goes to. I think that at the end of the day, I'm combining 2 of the greatest games of all time in the same way that Elden Ring already did it with Breath of the Wild and Dark Souls. Yeah, that's where my mind goes.
For me, I went with a very similar direction. I want the world and exploration of Elden Ring, which is very similar to the
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, the open-ended, kind of go wherever you want and explore. I want the combat and crafting of The Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
And then I want the choices and character interactions of Mass Effect 2.
Ooh.
Just think about that, dude.
So set the scene. Are we high fantasy? Or are we space? Are we apocalyptic? Are we where are we at?
Whatever suits itself to weapons like guns.
Okay.
I don't want like swords or anything like that. I want the combat of The Last of Us. So I mean, I guess you can go. I don't want to go apocalyptic. There's got to be some other interesting set. I mean, like you could technically take the world of Mass Effect and do that.
Or there's something that we don't see too often. Something like The Division, where it's like just war. Like you could make an interesting war open world game.
Is The Division just war? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know really.
There's like a
society.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
And then they all kind of like are just dealing with that. So yeah, that's my pick there. From Donald Kimball, at what point does a video game become less of a game and more of an interactive movie?
Ooh.
How guided can a game be and still be considered a game?
I think games are games.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I think that anything that, like, whether it's Metal Gear having crazy long cutscenes, whether it's The Last of Us having like some of the best cutscenes in the biz,
or like a walking sim,
like
where it's like you're just kind of walking around and exploring. If you can interact with it, it's a game.
Yep.
So like even if it's like an early like adventure game where you're just kind of like making choices and stuff, it's like that's a game. You're interacting.
Yeah. And so for me, also just like, do you not like movies? Like, do you not like?
I don't like this argument. I've heard you make this before.
I completely am on the board of like, if you like movies,
well, people are coming to games for a different.
I understand,
type of
and
thing
that's why you get gameplay. Like, and that's why there's a bunch of other things. But like, let's just say that it's The Last of Us, and there's an hour and a half, 2 hours of like cutscenes and stuff.
There's way more than that.
Yeah, I think it's close.
There's like 16 hours of cutscenes in Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, because there's the combat is there. Like that's the thing where I'm like, I don't mind that when the other stuff is also so good. And also, I think that the big thing is the way that those things actually present themselves, whether it is Ben Starr's performance in 16 or Ashley Johnson's in The Last of Us, where it's like, those are some really damn good cutscenes.
Yeah, I'm of the mind that like I would never use it as a pejorative to say that this is like a movie game. I don't like that mentality very much, but like if that's how you feel, that's totally fine. It's just like you can just chalk it up to being like this game's just not for me.
Yeah.
And then like just move on. Like, but I think that a lot of people get hung up on that. I'm not saying that you got hung up on that, Donald. But from just observing the industry and seeing people talk online about movie games and walking sims, it's like we just got to accept sometimes that like some games just aren't for us. And if people love those story-based games that have like a ton of cutscenes and everything, or like maybe something like Until Dawn where it's like really very much just choices and cutscenes and everything, it's like that's for me and a lot of other people, and it just might not be for you.
That's the other thing. I think it goes back to the racing game hot take earlier in the pod, where it's just like, yeah, some things aren't going to be for you. And if the thing of, I'm not calling out the person that wrote this, I'm just saying in general, the people that are just like, I really like third-person action adventure games, but I want more gameplay. It's like, cool. I want some things too, but a creative direction for a lot of these teams, they really know best for their mass audiences on how to display things, whether it's God of War. I think Sony, obviously, with their games is the main force of a question like this,
right.
Where they're first-party titles. But like, those are some really fucking good games, so I don't care.
What game left you in tears at the end because of the story / gameplay being good, or you will just miss playing it? And that's from Katsy.
You can go first on this one.
I'm gonna say Journey.
Cool.
It's not necessarily the gameplay. I do think the gameplay is fun in Journey, but the visuals and the story or lack thereof, that's like very much this ethereal background thing where you can kind of assume a lot of stuff, but it doesn't give you a lot of answers. And the music and that ending, like, it's unlike anything in video games ever, and it just rocked me. And I didn't know why it rocked me so hard, but I've heard a lot of other people say they had a similar experience. There's just something about Journey that's special and emotional, even though it's not speaking to you.
I think step one with Journey is that freaking music, like where it's just like it's so overwhelming that you sort of just like, for me playing through it earlier last year, I was like, man, what a game that just delivers a full package, even though it's so short.
Right.
The emotion that they are able to extract from you is super impressive in that game. For me, I think, I don't know if I've discussed this exact story, but it was God of War. God of War 2018 is a masterpiece in my eyes. It's one of my few 10 out of 10 games. I played this game in college, and it was right after a breakup, and it was there for me in a way that I was like, holy shit, like, this is a really good story. But that game was finishing, and I like, a lot of the time was like, you're just getting emotional through this game because you're in an emotional time in your life. And coming down from the high of playing that game at the end, I was just so sad that it was over, and I wasn't sad about my ex anymore. I was just sad that this fucking game was over. Like, I like every single moment that I wasn't playing it for the next 5 days after the fact, I was like, God damn, I wish that I could go back and play this game. The combat is so terrific. The story is so terrific. The relationship between son and father is obviously something that Connor and I are able to relate to, as we're both boys with a father in our lives. And like, I had some of the coolest and most emotional conversations with our father after that game finished. It just rocked me. And also on the fact of, I'm just gonna miss playing this game, like, fully there. I was sitting in like not folding chair, like a lawn chair sort of deal that we had in my freshman dorm, playing a game on a 32-inch TV, and I was weeping after it finished, where I was like, this is just definitely one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. And then the other one, just a little bit of a caveat, something that I was just like upset that it's over and I'm not going to get that first experience again for the first time. It's a game I've mentioned 100 times on this podcast, Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
I that game literally finished and I was like, all I want to do is live in this cartoon world with these characters. It's so fun, delightful. The combat is so terrific. And like it goes back to the fact of when you were streaming this game, every single Wednesday I woke up when you were streaming that game. I was like, I'm so jealous that Connor gets to like play through some of these moments. And then obviously there is some of those boss fights. I'm like, oh my god, he gets to play through this tonight. The Katy Perry and the Wolf boss fights in those games I'm just like, those are two of the most electric boss fights in gaming.
Katy Perry,
the character that is very similar to Katy Perry.
Oh,
that's right before it. Your left shark.
Oh yeah,
and then also her like persona is Katy Perry.
I didn't put that together.
Yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
So yeah.
The other one for me, just real quick, I didn't cry at the end of it, but I think it's a testament to how much I love just playing this game. When I finish a platinum for almost every game I've ever played and platinumed, I am like, okay, I'm ready to be done with this. I'm excited to finish this. That did not happen with Final Fantasy VII Remake. I platinumed it at like 70 hours after doing 2 playthroughs and all the challenges and everything. And then I was like, oh, I just wish there was more.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more to do. And then they added more stuff and I never got to it. I still haven't played Intergrade yet.
Yep.
Maybe we should add Intergrade into the
Subathon. Yeah. Dude, no. We are going to be streaming for
40 hours. But what if we finish?
Then we finish the game.
Okay. But
so
what if they
okay,
support to get us to 48 hours?
If it's Sunday at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to stay up till midnight before a work week after streaming from 5 p.m.
We can talk about
gosh.
this offline.
Let us know if you want that, because we might be insane enough to do it.
If you had to be stuck in one video game for a year, what video game would you pick? And that's from That's My Daddy Slurms.
The Last of Us 2, duh. No,
I have 2 good answers here for this. Basic one and a fun one.
Yeah, the first thing that I think of, and it sounds really dumb, is Tony Hawk. Just being like, I would love to just shred, dude, for a year. Are you kidding me? That sounds like a great time. Any of those types of games, SSS Tricky. Just anything that you're bored in, I like that. Just sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I like, I just think is so delightfully peaceful is like being in Hyrule. Just the amount of peace that you get, the simulator aspects of like just grabbing sticks and shooting things.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Like I just like the idea that it's basically like if you were like, hey, you just got to take a year of your life and F off. And just like chill.
Well, you're gonna have bokoblins coming after you.
I mean,
there's gonna be some shenanigans.
Yeah, but I like shenanigans. And then I get to ride around on a horse.
You'll shenan once, and
I'll shenan again.
For me, the basic answer is Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing.
Yep,
of course. Those are like
Animal Crossing is just the go-to answer.
Yeah. Those are boring answers, though. My fun answer is GTA 5. Just ride around, no rules, no laws, just kind of go crazy. The thing is, I would be afraid that I would be an NPC there or whatever, and just like get like carjacked. Yep. But then I would just kind of lean into it and just start doing it, living the GTA life or whatever.
2 months in, you're a changed man.
I'm the protagonist. I'm the protagonist here. I'm getting weird.
Yep.
And you respawn is what we were assuming. So like, as long as I know that I'm not gonna die, like I'm gonna do some weird shit. I'm jumping out of a plane. I'm mowing down, I'm just shooting a gun in the air or whatever. Or I'm doing some heists or something. Like that'd be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as there's no consequences to it,
totally.
obviously. So, yeah, that's what I'm picking.
Nice.
What game? Here's one. From TMX21. What video game defined your childhood?
This is a question that sort of comes up on streams every now and then. When I think of my actual childhood, and like childhood's a tough one because you obviously got like 7 to 10, and then you got like 10 to 13 sort of deal. I'm gonna go with Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Going over to
Like
my,
you were a kid when you were
I
playing
know,
it. Isn't nuts to
but
me.
like,
I was like
Black
15.
Ops 2 comes out, and I shouted out on a list that we did because we did the best zombies maps ever this for TikTok. Like playing hundreds of hours, going over my best friend's place. You finish up homework at 4:00. You go over at 5:00. Their mom's making some meatballs and some spaghetti. You go over, you house that down, and then you're just up there from 6 until like 9:00 playing zombies. Or it's a Saturday and you get over there at 10 and you're playing zombies all day, or you're playing Raid or Hijacked, or just like Firing Range, some of the greatest online maps of all time. Halo Reach is also in there as like just like those were the shooters of my generation, and I know that ages me quite a bit. It's fun to say ages me when it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I those games defined my childhood in a major way, and then there's the other fun stuff like Rock Band and Kart and stuff like that.
I'm gonna go when I'm younger, I guess, and talk about two different perspectives here, because I think a lot of my childhood was run by licensed movie video games.
Ooh.
So like Shrek 2,
Madagascar,
the SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie,
the game.
like on Game Boy. Like I played a lot of licensed games. I think it was something about my family not wanting to buy me something like inappropriate or whatever, and they knew that like if it was like a licensed thing, then like they had some knowledge about it. But then if I were to ask for like Metal Gear Solid, they would be like, what the fuck is that or whatever. But they knew they were safe by buying the SpongeBob. So like I played a lot of that. And then I also played, for me, when it comes to Tony Hawk, it was American Wasteland. I played a lot of American Wasteland with friends and on my own. Yeah. Just kind of dicking around, hitting each other with skateboards, because you can get off your skateboard in that one. I know you can do that in Thug, but I went back to Tony Hawk's Underground after playing American Wasteland. So I just always preferred American Wasteland in my head, but I know that
Underground's better.
Thug's probably better. Yeah. But yeah, I played a ton of that as a kid.
If you want more about like that question, we do have a podcast with our full gaming history up.
It's our most viewed podcast.
Yeah, it's the most viewed podcast. If you guys want to check that out, because we know that a lot of people are curious about what we played, what we've not played. The answer is for not a lot of fucking games.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Kingdom Hearts again, because that's the first game
I also didn't want to say Uncharted 2 again,
or like Pokemon.
Rock Band.
Yeah. Video game series you'd like to get into from Mahacks, Mahcks. Mahicks.
This is a tough one because there's a couple places I can go. The big one's obviously Metal Gear. I'm going to be streaming that for the first time this year.
Metal Gear. Revolver Ocelot.
But when you first asked that question, I know it sounds really stupid, but I really want to get into the Dark Souls series.
Yeah.
Because I know that those games are terrific. I'm watching Snowbike Mike play through 2 right now. Some of my favorite streamers have played a lot of those games, and I really enjoy watching those games. Elden Ring sort of opened up my mind, being like, oh no, like these games, like the punishing aspect of these games are nice every now and then to go and like get your ass handed to you. I used to hate that concept, being like, why would I play something when I'm not having fun? But yeah, I think that there will be a time where, whether it's on stream or off, I will go back and get into the Soulsborne series.
Nice, right on. I hope you do that.
Yeah,
because I want you to play Bloodborne again. You bounced off that really fast.
Hour and a half. Played an hour and a half.
The hardest part about Bloodborne is just learning to get your teeth kicked in.
Learning the blood.
I don't even think it's a hard game.
Yeah,
that is a hot take. But the hard part is that transition period, and then once you learn like how to kind of move around and dodge, and then go in and get your slashes in and get out. And you like start leveling yourself up, like you can just overpower yourself and get more powerful, and then you're just comfortable. Like I have the platinum for it. There was a couple bosses that I found pretty difficult, but otherwise, like I really wasn't getting my teeth kicked in that bad after those first few hours. So I hope that you stick with it this time. For me, the series that I really would like to get into, but I'm daunted by because there's so many, Yakuza.
It was
Like a Dragon.
Yep. Yeah.
These games look so up my alley and so weird and fun and goofy. And everybody says they're fucking amazing, but like there's so many games we have to play right now for review, and like I don't want to dip my toe in. I want to go all in.
February
on Yakuza.
is a lost month for us.
Yeah, February's fucked. But after that, hopefully. But then you look at March and you have Dragon's Dogma and Rise of the Ronin and
pre-showtime, and also actually playing through Rebirth. Like,
yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, because Rebirth is a February game, but it's a March game.
Yeah.
If the difference between March 1st and February 29th is a day,
Right.
and so it's a March game. That's when you're gonna actually be playing through that game. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun discussion on how we exactly are gonna review that. Please, Square Enix, reach out to us. Yeah.
All right.
Real quick, the other one, I just want to throw this out based off of you and your recommendation and my enjoyment while playing platforms. I need to get to Donkey Kong Country. I got to do it.
Yeah, baby. Love me some Donkey Kong Country, man. And if you play on Switch, you can use like the replay system. So like if you die, you can just kind of like back up and like redo it rather than losing lives. It's more challenging, in my opinion, and more fun to play it on the SNES. But everything good?
Yep. Sorry, I'm pretty sure you hit record this time, and I was just like, let's just check.
But yeah, I think it's more, dude, the grind to like learn. It's kind of like Prince of Persia, where like you spend the first like few fights with like a boss or whatever, just learning the patterns, and then like you were getting your teeth kicked in, and then you learned, and then you get further and further, and you were getting like to the end like every single time, and you just had to finish it. Or Donkey Kong Country. For the older ones, it's like to get to a save point, oftentimes you have to beat like 4 levels in a row, and like you with your lives or whatever. So then if you die, you have to like go back to that save point or whatever, and then redo all of them. But you would be okay. I'm barely getting past 1, then I'm mastering 1,
2.
and then eventually like you are mastering every single level, and then you're getting to that 4th one, and there's nothing better than eventually getting that 4th one and like having like 2 lives, and you're like, if I die here, I'm gonna have to replay all 3 of those levels, but let's give it a go. Let's see if we can get it to work, and actually hitting on it and finishing it. Oh my god! And you're like, oh, save point, thank God. And you don't always know when the next save point is. Sometimes it's 3 levels, sometimes it's 5 levels. Like, I loved it. Oh, so fun.
That's awesome.
How do you decide to start collecting new things, games, records, etc.? Was there a specific point when having a lot of something consciously shifted into collecting? That's from Polar Barrett.
That's a really great question. Thank you so much.
You don't collect anything.
I have a small record collection, but I don't really have this urge to collect things for 2 reasons, nowadays especially. One, financially, it just doesn't really make sense for me. I'm still 23, broke, just out of college, and a lot of my money goes into trying to buy new releases to review and stuff like that for you guys. And then secondly, space. I literally just don't have space in my apartment at this point. Literally, whether it's the wheel, the lights, just random stuff for content, I literally have I have a Rock Band drum set in my pantry right now. Like that's just how it is. And so I don't really have an urge, but I think this question you'll have a lot longer of an answer.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't think it's that deep for me. I go all in on things. So like I was just inspired by creators that I liked and was like, oh, they're collecting records? That seems interesting. And then I would do some research on it and then I'd be like, yeah, I want to do this. And then I would go in and just go crazy on it. Like I bought like 150 records in like the first year of collecting vinyl records. And then and that really came from Anthony Fantano and being into music and seeing his record collection. So that was my inspiration there. And then for like video game content creators, like there was ones that I liked that were collecting games, and I was like, I would like to do this. And then I was like, if I get a stable job, because I was working in the service industry for a long time, which is very unstable because it's just kind of up and down when you're in that tip culture. But then I got a stable like 9 to 5, and I was like, okay, like I know how much I'm getting paid. Like let's look into this. And then it's just been every paycheck. It's like, just buy.
Connor has his gaming tax that. His lovely wife buys a lot of plants and he buys a lot of games.
Yeah, so it's just a great little endorphin hit. I love that tactical feeling of having pulling something off the shelf and intentionally being able to like peel through the manual and see the artwork and like I joke about it, but when the grid goes down and all your games are gone from the digital ecosystems, I'll have my games there for me ready to go. There's no guarantee that any of this digital these digital stores will be around forever.
Ubisoft, the president, or they were just like,
that was a weird
quote
because they asked him what it would take to get more people on like their Ubisoft like platform or whatever, and he's like, people just need to be more comfortable just owning digital stuff, and then that would happen. But that's never going to change. That there will always be people who want the physical. We'll see with the new Xbox news that they fired their entire physical games department that runs that. So we'll see how that all turns out.
Yeah.
Polar Barrett is getting a double dip here.
Good job.
Also not video game related, but what do you guys like and dislike about living in Cincinnati? Skyline chili, baby.
I mean, that's part of it. I think that the number one thing, and it's such a boring freaking answer, is cost of living.
Oh.
It is. You have all of the happenings of a big city. You got music venues, sports, museums. Like you got what you want from a city landscape. We were from Massachusetts, so we spent a lot of time in Boston. I went to school in the South, spent a lot of time in Atlanta. You have a lot of those like major tentpoles that you want from city living, but also the fact that my disposable income isn't just only going to rent or only going to food to like be stable. Being able to run this, like, we don't use really company money for the games that we're buying. We mainly buy our own shit when it comes to like the stuff that we are reviewing or playing or anything like that. And so just being able to have that extra $50, $100 to be like, all right, I can budget a game in this week. Like, it's really nice. And I really enjoy that aspect because I also enjoy the music. I also enjoy the art around the city and stuff like that. So that's great.
I love Cincinnati. Like Nick said, we grew up in Massachusetts, so we spent a lot of time in Boston. And Boston's like this really hyped up, like Chicago, Boston, New York, LA. These are like the big major cities. Yeah. So then when you talk about Cincinnati, you're like, Cincinnati. Yep. But like, there's great restaurants here. There's great nightlife. There's all my friends are here. Like the cost of living is cheap. It like every major thing that you want in a city like is in most cities. It's just a matter of like if you're willing to go seek it out and find it. And that is what I love about Cincinnati. There's 6 fucking retro game stores in the area that I can go to. Like, that's awesome. There's great record shops that I love going to. There's great coffee shops. There's great breakfast places. Like, it has it all. And then also the fact that like I get to be around my friends. Like, we lived in Boston after college for a few years. Extremely expensive, and I just wasn't with my people, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I feel like people just like it's like a status thing. Like, you move to New York because you want to be a New Yorker. It's like, I don't care where I live. I just want to be with my friends.
I will say like on the New York aspect, you do get the pizza and the bagels. Like, there's some specialty food that is provided
100%
in Broadway,
is it
but like
worth it? I don't know.
That's the cost of living.
Yeah, no.
The cost of living is like the strict numbers of, hey, where am I going to move to after college? Connor was like, move up here immediately. I'm like, I need a job first. But like, I'm so thankful I'm up here. It's actually, if you were getting out of college and you wanted a city lifestyle, I'd be like, dude, cost of living, I don't know if it gets better for what you like, bang for your buck. If you want to live somewhere that's like,
great breweries as well.
There's like a punchline being like, best thing to do in Cincinnati is drink.
But
like
you
that,
have Mad Tree and you have Rhinegeist and Roadside Brewing. Like, there's a lot of great.
The breweries here and I'm not trying to like gatekeep drink where you want to drink, have fun where you want to have fun, but like really solid breweries and really like there's just a ton to do. Like, at the end of the day, where do you live? You just want fun shit to do.
Right. But if you're introverted like me, it's like, I just want to have my people around when I want that or whatever. But otherwise, like, I just want to be comfortable, and Cincinnati gives me that opportunity. Plus, they have Skyline fucking chili. Yeah, this shit's delicious.
Honestly,
put some chili on spaghetti, baby.
The chance that I go and get Skyline after this conversation,
I think I'm gonna get PF Chang's.
Ooh.
Back to the old stomping grounds. I used to work at PF Chang's. Haven't been back there in 2 years, I don't think. For no reason. Like, I like PF Chang's food. It's expensive. I'm just craving Kung Pao chicken.
So me and Sam Ross, someone childhood best friend, and friend of the show, he's done content with me many years ago. We're seeing Oppenheimer this summer. We roll into PF Chang's. Getting ready to eat some good food. Look at the menu, saw the prices. We both sort of looked at each other, just being like, we are not hungry enough. Like
You didn't know how expensive it was? It's crazy
no, I knew it was expensive
for what you're getting.
I know
it's good food.
Yeah,
though.
I knew it was
I
expensive.
really like
like where it's like, there's like your like $12 to $15 entree
like
places.
$20, yeah.
There's like it's like 25.
But you're getting like it's family style. You're
Yeah,
supposed
you're
to
getting
like split it with a couple
so,
people.
but the thing was where
And
it
you
was
get rice
like
with it.
we're like we want to do two like sort of things to split, and we couldn't just like get it together, or we're like, do we do 3 things? And all of a sudden we're like, I don't want to spend between a couple beers and 3 different like small things,
Right.
$30-$40 when we're about to go to a movie and everything. So we went to I think TGIF. They had
I hate TGIF. It's so bad.
or
It's the worst chain like sit down restaurant like your Applebee's or Chili's. I would.
I
don't.
I'm not positive it was TGIF. It was one of those though type of places. And dude, it was a good time. I got a Blue Moon, a burger, and some fries. Before.
Oh, it might have been Red Robin, dude. Red Robin hits.
I think it was Red Robin.
Like Red Robin.
And dude, like unfreaking believable. We rolled in with like full stomachs. We were like, let's just do a medium popcorn, and we didn't finish it. Good move there. Save like
I always go way too hard on the popcorn.
yeah.
I get like the large size, and then I'm like, you can refill this, and I'm like, I don't want that much popcorn.
It used to be good back in like high school, where it's like we're about to have a sleepover after this, and we're gonna muck this popcorn until like 3 a.m.
Why do you have so many terms for eating food? Skull, muck,
throat,
dome. Ew, dude.
Take
like,
it to
it's
the
so
throat.
Gross.
Oh man.
All right.
Sorry if you don't like that. I'm not.
That was a good little tangent there. If you could play any game again for the first time, what would it be and why? And this is from William.
The easiest answer on the entire planet. Final Fantasy VII Remake for me. Not The Last of Us. I think a lot of people would have thought I would have said The Last of Us.
I thought about saying The Last of Us, and I've said that before, but I have a different answer.
Final Fantasy VII Remake for a couple reasons. One, if I was able to be like, get a little bit more advice from Connor, being like, dude, just platinum this game. Like, just like do everything. Because I don't have this crazy urge to do everything. And now I wish that I did. That would have been.
It's nice that it's still there for you.
Yeah, I can still do it if I want to.
You never played it on hard mode either. In hard mode, you can't use items.
Yeah.
You can only use like cure and
Heals.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so much more fun.
Yeah. So I would love to be able to go back and do that, but also to experience that story. I just like go back to Aerith's theme for the first time when you land in the church. Like I was like I played that section and I did not understand why I was having not only the emotions I was having, but I was like, this is it. Like this is now officially going to be one of my favorite things for the rest of time. And right. I didn't understand that even at the time, being like, this game's good. Like Final Fantasy VII's got a lot of hype behind it. Have you seen the game trailer's reaction from like 2015? And it definitively, I would like. I'm so excited at the prospect of being like, if I have a kid one day, I'm gonna and they're like, hey, what's video games? Or like, I want to play like one of Dad's favorite video games. I would literally be like, we're playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like right. That is it.
For me, it's God of War 2018, and the reasoning isn't necessarily. I hold this game in very high regard. Yep. Obviously, I think it's one of the top 20 games of all time.
Yep,
clearly, but I have that first experience with it was amazing, and my feelings have changed like as time has gone on, but I would like to replay it with like a fresh start or whatever, just to have that feeling again.
Yeah,
because like I thought I finished God of War and I was like, that's the greatest game I've ever played. Yep. And then I like thought more about it and kind of waned a little bit more as time has gone on, but I want to recapture that feeling of, oh, this is the greatest game I've ever played again, and I don't think I could do that without playing it for the first time.
This might be a weird question. What do you think is a game that could release that like we know exists out there, whether it's announced or not, that could take that? This is the greatest game of all time.
Judas, if it is as good as we hope it is. Yeah, it's Ken Levine. It's
I think
BioShock.
Silent Hill 2 Remake has a chance to do it if they're able to capture the magic of that.
It's got to be something new.
I think that The Last of Us 3 obviously could do it. I think,
or their new IP,
because
they're doing a new IP.
I think that Cory Barlog's next game easily could, if he's able to capture those 3 pillars of character, story, and gameplay the way that he did with 2018.
Right.
I'm excited.
Alrighty, we're gonna shift into talking about the channel a little bit here. We got a few questions about that. Ross, aka Big Mac, Where do you see the channel in 5 years?
So something that like I haven't fully done yet with the team that I would prefer to do eventually is what is our 6-month plan. We actually sort of have that now, which is nice. Through streaming schedule,
we know exactly what we're doing basically for the next 6 months,
which is nice. But it was sort of like piecemeal of like, you're playing this, I'm playing this, Brady's playing this. We want to do this aspect, then the next aspect, and everything. But if I were to like, I wouldn't want it to ever get too big. Whether it's like, eventually, if it blew up in a larger way, it would be nice to have a full-time editor.
Right.
It would be nice to maybe have another voice. At the end of the day, I think that me, Connor, Brady, and Shane all trust each other so much with being on camera, delivering opinions, and also not taking it all too seriously. A lot more content, I think, is the end goal. A lot more curated content, not just TikTok, whether it's podcasting, whether it's direct YouTube videos. I think we're going to explore the Drunk Explain series a little bit more if that video does well on YouTube. I think that Connor and I have discussed future endeavors, whether it's podcasting or ideas. I think that the coolest part of this year has been the creative input between Connor, myself, and Brady of, I kind of want to do this. So let's figure out a way to do that. Or I think that this is a cool idea. Maybe that's not a great idea, but like, let's keep that creative juices flowing. The positivity around it's been terrific. So 5 years down the line, I would say numbers are doing good. Hopefully Connor and I are full time. I think that like that's a step that would happen before we brought anyone else on. Connor, myself, Brady, full time. Channel's doing well. We Twitch stream a little bit more. We do a little bit more content creation overall because we would have the extra time. And I think that's it.
For me, it's going to be about the community and building something there over the next 5 years. Like, we're happy people are fans of us and seem pretty hardcore into the product and everything and wanting to talk to us about video games and go on this journey with us. And I just want to keep building that so people can have a space, a really positive space in the gaming industry to discuss games, be a part of this with us, be positive in an industry that can be really negative sometimes. So we don't want to get too big just because of that. I think it's easier to foster those kind of relationships when you have something a little bit more intimate and something smaller. Yep. We still want to grow, of course, but I think that so far we have fans that do an amazing job of being welcoming and kind to each other and really positive when it comes to discussing things. There's disagreements, of course, and stuff that with any media, there's going to be touchy subjects. Talking about like Star Wars or something like that can bring out a lot of negativity for some people, but it always stays respectful and kind to one another, and treating each other with respect is really important to me. So in 5 years, I hope the community grows and we can keep fostering that kind of mentality of kindness and positivity with each other.
I think that's
really important to me.
The coolest part thus far has been, even if things get heated, at the end of the day, it is always shake hands and walk away. Like where it's like, you have your opinion, I have my opinion. We're cool. We both also, guess what, really like this thing called video games and this community. And so it's okay that we disagree, but it's all right. And it's really cool.
Sarah Wap asks, would you guys get a P.O. box?
Yes.
I didn't have this on here because like the answer is definitely yes, but there's not a lot of discussion here, but we can just real quick. Yeah, we intend to do that. It's cool that people want to send us stuff, but we have so many different things, balls juggling currently, merch ideas. P.O. box would be in that kind of wheelhouse as well. It's just a matter of, then we have all the new equipment and buying all the new equipment. Like, so it's just a matter of eventually getting that up and running. Yeah. It is lower on the priority list.
The priority list as right now is literally, like, I can explain this very easily. Equipment and getting through February with delivering the reviews that you guys want to hear from the team is the number one priority, while still delivering a terrific TikTok slate, Twitch slate, and YouTube slate. Like, that is a ton of stuff. Like, this equipment is a major tool. We're very thankful about it, but it's like, on my end, nothing really has gone too wrong yet. And I think that was like part of the reason we want to spend the amount of money that we did and want to raise the amount of money that we did, because we're like, we want the shit to just work, but eventually it will not work. And I need to figure that out.
Right.
And so
but
it's
this
a
is going a
process.
long way to making things work.
Yeah, we've
talked about, we lost so many videos.
I would say
audio issues.
probably like 50-ish TikToks.
Yeah.
Like there was certain weeks that we lost a full week and we had to reshoot full weeks. There was certain weeks that we lost 2 videos, 4 videos. Like we lost a ton of content by just lack of production quality. And that's like one of those things that's like,
yeah. And it is important to know, as the production quality goes up, people are like, we really just like how like wholesome and like kind of lo-fi everything is.
Yeah.
It's like, as much as we would like to keep that, we want to have some level of professionalism, and with not losing stuff comes that next level of visual and audio fidelity.
Yeah.
It's outside of our control. It's either we lose videos or we look a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's like, it just is what it is.
And at the end of the day, not losing videos allows for just so much better mental health for myself and the team.
It's so stressful to lose a video. We'll do like an entire shoot on a Sunday, and then stuff is supposed to go up on that Monday, and we're like, oh, we can't use any of this because it's busted. So we've been in that situation before.
We've done a great job about, like, I think as a team coming together to really understand what we need technology wise, and everything is a tool.
I have a question that relates to this. So this is the last business related question.
Cool.
And we have one more video game related question. Mark Jr. JNR, what has been the biggest challenge so far with running the brand / business?
So the brand and business side, I that's more on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Connor does a great job about like what our TikTok slate looks like and bringing in like some of the greatest gaming opinions in the gaming industry when it comes to running the business, the schedule, and stuff like that. That's more my end. And the biggest issue, what is it, issue or biggest problem? Challenge. Great. The biggest challenge has been, we are doing all of this, we're learning while we're going. Like at the end of the day, we all of a sudden we're put in a situation where we just had thousands of followers, and it happened,
which we did not expect
overnight
at all, or really. I mean, we're happy to have it, but like we had no intentions of blowing up. We were planning on doing this for months, maybe a year, for a few people.
I said
a maximum, and then all of a sudden we have thousands of people.
September, I'm talking to like my significant other at the time, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a good shot for 2 years, and then if it doesn't work, I'll find other creative outlets to utilize my gaming knowledge, and maybe I'll Twitch stream every now and then, but I won't take it like. What we're doing is an all-in method where it's like it either is going to work or it isn't, but the formula says it should work, and it ended up working out greatly. But I was signing up for 2 years to be like, I'll stream for 3 people for 2 years, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're gonna stream, and like we were all okay with that. So to all of a sudden be dropped into a place where it's like, hey, we want merch, hey, we want more content, hey, what's the podcast look like, hey, can we get a Discord, hey, can we do this? It's like, it's a shit ton of fun. We're so excited that people are as excited as we are, because we are genuinely like, someone's like, we want to do that. And I'm like, we want to do that. And then it just works. Oh my God, that feeling is euphoric. But at the same time, it's like the biggest example of it is 24-hour stream, January 5th, Co-op 64 day. I've done other 24-hour streams, and planning that and doing that is a major undertaking. Normally the day before, all I have to do, all the team has to do is, hey, let's get the consoles over here. Let's make sure all the controllers are charged, and let's make sure all the games are downloaded and updated. That's all we have to do. Holy shit, was it a fire drill to be able to do it. I need to get the Discord, the link tree, it works. Okay, can we actually change it this? Okay, cool, that's good now. Nick needs to make 2 graphics. You need to finish trivia also. We need to go and grab stools for the background. Just literally every single thing.
Our time is filled with this stuff, and it's like adding things to the plate. Like, oh, dude, it's just I was just thinking about, like, if we ever were able to go full time, like being able to have scheduled time to play video games, because playing video games at this point is a job. Like, I need to play this game by this date and get it done by this date. So it feels very different than just being like, whatever, like I'll sit down for a few hours and play, or however long.
So right now I'm working I work in 8 to 5. I this week got out at 5:36, 6:30 some days, and immediately hopped into streaming 7 to 10, and then I was editing a video after. I was hopping on Valorant to take a terrific opportunity to develop more relationships in the gaming industry with Andy Cortez and Snowbike Mike, and like every single minute is just chock full. So then when it gets to the weekend and there's a new release, literally I was like exhausted all week, getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep, maybe 6 hours on a good night, and then working my ass off. And then I get to Friday 5:30, I get out of work, working late, boot up Tekken. And I played Tekken till 2 a.m., took a break, played some Halo, cleaned up the apartment, played a little bit more Tekken, 4 a.m., fall asleep. Wake up, 9:30, grab a coffee, we're streaming for 12 hours. Finish that, I'm platinuming Tekken. Wake up, we're shooting, like what we're doing right now. And the reason that
the grind just does not stop, which is great. It feels amazing. It's very rewarding to have it all pay off. So I just you just dropped a lot of like the challenges and they asked for it, but like, man, like you guys make it
so easy.
Yeah, you guys make it feel really good.
Like when I was reviewing Tekken, like I was like, I'm so stoked that like this is like Connor is terrific at that. We have a lot of trust between the two of us when it comes to our opinions, how we display them, the understanding of like. I think obviously it's a lot easier to trust in you being like, oh, like Connor's gonna know his shit straight and like that's gonna be good. When it comes to me, this is my first ever solo review, and it was like a huge undertaking to be like, I'm not only gonna beat this game for my first solo review, I'm gonna fucking platinum it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like make sure that like if anyone's like, hey, you didn't play enough of this, are you fucking kidding me? I fucking platinumed it. I did everything that like you can squeeze a game out of, and played a lot of online and played everything. Like, so my opinion, I played enough to review this game, and I felt amazing about that last night. That rewarding aspect of this job is so terrific. Like all I could ever want to do in a weekend basically is do this anyways. And for you guys to come in and average around 50 viewers on a Saturday 12-hour stream,
so fun. Yesterday's stream was so fun.
So much fun, so relaxing also, where it's like, hey, no one was like, why isn't this a 24-hour? No one was like, hey, like, you guys stream too much or whatever. Like, everyone is wanting more. We want to do more. But there's just challenges. We're 3 guys in state, 4 guys as a total team. Like, it is so
it's
difficult.
Challenging. It is hard. It's hard work.
Manage all of it. And I think that our relationships and the bond that me, Connor, and Brady as that core have is the start of what makes it really easy. And then you guys give it that extra fuel where it's like, we would do this anyways. We would do this for no one, and we would have a good time doing it. You guys making it as rewarding a process as it is absolutely terrific. It's like I get emotional about it every now and then on stream, being like, holy shit, like this is our lives. It's amazing. Oh, yeah,
it still blows my mind that this is our lives. It's very strange. So I echo a lot of what you just said, but
you got anything you want to add on?
You and I being brotherly and butting heads on things is pretty challenging. It's interesting I do feel like I'm very much a Virgo. I want things to be a certain way, and I want things right, and want things in a timely fashion. And when things don't go right, it stresses me out.
What I've learned through the creative process is to trust that you have delivered some of the best ideas that the channel has had, and also vice versa. And I understand that I brought a lot of the good ideas to the channel and stuff like that. But like when I think a big moment for us in our understanding was there was a moment a couple weeks ago where you and I were having an argument about which way something should be done. And you just go, hey, I know I'm right about this. And I was like, honestly, I might not be right.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it your way. And like, it immediately was just like I said, with our audience, we shook hands and we just got back down to business. Because I trust you to a certain level to be like, not to a certain level, I trust you intrinsically, being like, you have a terrific sense of what the visual product is going to end up looking like. And when it came to something like that, we're like, hey, this was going to be a better product for this type of video because I know what this type of video needs, whether it's the fun in the video or the terrific. And it was the right move, and it worked out really well.
Right on. All right. To close it out, General G-Dog asks, you and Nick are both stranded on an island and can each take 1 console and 3 games for that console. What are you taking and why? I just realized that this it would technically be 6 games if we combined our games because we're on the island together. But I'm just gonna say we're on separate islands. And the important caveat for me, because I think it's a more interesting question with this, no internet.
Yep.
You just have to play. You just have the console, the TV, the games.
We also did say you were allowed to add any DLC. Like it's the complete package of those games.
The Game of the Year edition.
Yeah, whatever. That is for that.
Do you want to kick it off or do you want me to go?
I've just been talking a lot. You can kick it off.
All right. I am taking my favorite console of all time is the PS1.
Yep.
But when it comes to length of games and something that I could play for a long time, I think that you have to go PS4.
I will also be choosing the PS4.
Yeah. So we're going PS4, and it's interesting because like it's multifaceted in the fact that the game needs to be good and needs to be long.
Yep.
For the most part, and that would be like the most important.
Can I
aspects.
guess your number one?
Sure.
Your number one overall pick in this not draft. It's Persona 5, right?
Oh, that's a good choice.
It's
I didn't
the
come to
tangent
mind.
you were making for 100 hours. Oh my god.
But even with that said, I want a game that I can replay a lot, and has a really good story.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with The Last of Us for my first game. Yeah. Last of Us remastered. For story and replayability, because I think you could crank the difficulty up on that and have a different experience every single time you're running through that. And just like wanting to perfect that, play that on Grounded and like perfecting it. Ooh, that would sing. My second game, a game that I haven't beaten, but I think when it comes to length and quality and the amount of content, you got to go with The Witcher 3.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's just long.
So you rather do that than Persona 5?
Maybe not, but I wrote this down already. Persona 5 didn't come to mind. So, yeah, we're going to go with The Witcher 3. And lastly, we're going to go with Red Dead Redemption 2, a game that I feel like I could live in. It's the whole package. It's got a great story. It's got great characters. You can spend a ton of time in there just kind of yucking it up as a cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, those are my three.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
All right. For me, it was a question of which Last of Us do I want to start out, because it's the best story of all time. And if I'm on a desert island, I want that story, but I don't want to take up 2 Last of Us slots, so I'm going to go with the longer one. I'm going to go with The Last of Us Part 2.
I thought about doing that as well.
What a terrific story. What a terrific in-depth game. The themes, the symbolism in that game is as good as it gets. The gameplay is terrific, and yeah, I could play that game basically forever. It's definitely my top 10 games of all time, and yeah. Number 2, I think a lot of people think here I would go with a God of War, just because I love that game. I'm going with Final Fantasy VII Remake for sure over God of War in that slot, because I need that music. I need the music. That's the big thing of like if I'm on an island and I can just replay. I believe it's the 7th chapter. No, it's the 10th chapter. Sorry, I should have stuck my guns there. 10th chapter, Air's theme after the Airbuster fight. That like 1-2 punch of music between those who fight further, still more fighting into Air's theme is like some of the best music I've ever heard. Not just video game music, but just music. And then I'm gonna close it out with the game that because you said no internet, Fortnite would have been the game. Actually, Fortnite would have probably replaced one of the 2 games that I've already said. But because it's no internet, I'm taking BO3 with Zombies Chronicles. I need to throw that out there. I just need Zombies Chronicles and the BO3 maps. Derice, Grod Crovey, Shadows of Evil, Drak, Origins, Kino, Ascension. I could just play, like, literally just be like, all right, it's day 1. I'm going to go for around 100 on Kino.
Right.
And then I'm going to try to do that. And then play all the Easter eggs and just everything. I adore those games. I can play Drak every day of my life and be a happy person. Shout out to some Zombies creators that still play like BO3 Zombies. It's just because it's that good for a game that came out 10 years ago.
Right on. All right. We are closing it out with a draft. We are drafting
what a pod.
Weapons. You are going first. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I am. But I just want to shout out to the community for writing in. This was
those are
really
great
awesome.
Questions. If you wrote in, appreciate you. You guys all did a great job. I'm sorry that I couldn't get everybody on here. We will do more of these. So stick to it if you would like to get right on the show.
Hop in the Discord if you want to. Most likely it's going to be easiest to get our Q&A where you can ask more business questions, life questions. That's going to be a lot easier to do there along with the gaming questions. That was going to happen around March. So yeah, let us know for that Q1 Q&A. That's going to be the whole team answering questions and having a great time.
Shane going to be on that?
I thought we'd probably do it in person, but maybe.
Well, you said the whole team, so I just didn't.
Oh yeah. There's when I say the whole team, in-person team is normally what I mean when it comes to podcast-based stuff.
All right. Let's do the draft. You are going first, so you're kicking it off. Maybe put your mic so we're looking at the camera a little bit.
Am I announcing the draft? Yes.
You're on first. Are the Chiefs winning still?
Yeah, they're up 17-10.
Oh, 10. They scored up
17-7, 17-10, 17 something. I don't even know. Super Bowl's 2 weeks away. We doing something fun for that?
Probably watching it.
Probably. That makes sense. We're just it's 7.
17-7. Fuck, and they have the ball.
Yep. It's a whole half of football.
We're definitely dating this.
Yep. Oh my god, I can't believe the Chiefs won. And then you're supposed to Connor is supposed to say, "Oh my god, I can't believe the Ravens won."
Can't believe the Ravens won.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are drafting the best weapons in video games.
I need a weapon.
All right, I'm going to kick us off. Number 1 overall pick, iconic, terrific, and from my second favorite game of all time, the Buster Sword. Give me Cloud's Buster Sword. I'm playing the board a little bit because I have a certain franchise's weapons a little bit higher, but I'll let you take one of them and I'll take the other one in round 2 or 3.
All right. For my first pick, I'm going to go with the Energy Sword from Halo. Something that just feels and looks powerful. Being able to kind of like dash in with it, it just feels amazing. And getting kills with it in multiplayer and in the campaign just feels visceral and punchy.
Endlessly satisfying.
Oh, so good. And with my second pick, we're going to go with the Leviathan Axe. Just throwing that thing and having it come back to you for the first time, I will never forget that feeling. It feels amazing to swing this thing, throw it at somebody, have it come back, keep swinging. The Leviathan Axe. How did they make a weapon that feels better and is possibly more iconic now than the Blades of Chaos from that series? Insane. Love the Leviathan Axe.
With my next pick, I'm going to take the Blades of Chaos.
Wow.
This is what I meant by my top 2 were both God of War 2018 weaponry and God of War series weaponry. I adore the Blades of Chaos. The amount of power you feel, the flames spitting off of them as you're taking down icy enemies is fantastic. Give me the Blades of Chaos. With my third overall pick, I'm taking the Keyblade.
That was my number 3. I was hoping it would come back to me.
Yeah, it's iconic. It's terrific. At the end of the day, when you think about the actual mechanics of just beating someone with a literal key, just a metal pole, it's hysterical. It's a perfect weapon for a game that is cartoony and ridiculous and fun. And it's also just really creative, like design. And obviously, with this, I believe I get all of the iterations of the Keyblade. But I'm gonna just like. It's the main Keyblade.
I was gonna say Oathkeeper if I could get mine.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna go with the main one.
Nice, right on. Okay, this changes things.
You're feeling good about getting Keyblade. Right now I got exactly what I want because I'm no matter what gonna get my last 2 picks.
With my third pick, we're gonna go with the Portal Gun.
Is that a weapon?
Yeah, it's a weapon. It's a gun.
I don't think you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking the Portal Gun.
Okay, it's a cool traversal tool. It's not a weapon, but I mean that's fine. I'll allow you to take it. Get in the comments.
It's literally has gun in the name.
Connor, you're wrong.
Okay, whatever.
I'm just kidding.
I'm taking the Portal Gun. One of the most innovative and interesting weapons across the entire medium. Using that for the first time and seeing how it works was insane, and it is featured in 2 of the greatest games of all time. So, Portal Gun.
Jay, leave this out of the edit. That's a great pick. That's a really good pick. When I was looking up weapons and everything and doing my research for this draft, I didn't write it down because I thought that if you took it, I can make the case. But it's a great pick. Yeah. It is. I mean, come on, 2 of the greatest games of all time utilize this weapon for. It's great. Do not put that in the edit for the people that are listening to this podcast. You got a little laugh out of it.
With my fourth pick, we're going to go with the Master Sword. It might be a little bit basic. It might be just a basic sword in a lot of when it comes to the visual aspects of it. But it's iconic. It is one of the most recognizable weapons of all time, the Master Sword, with my fourth pick.
I feel really good about these last two picks. I'm going first and foremost with the Needler from the Halo series. Iconic.
Wow.
When those needles go and track down and like you basically are like delivering shots at one person and then they like are on some sort of traversal thing and they start moving left or right and then they just track, stick, and then explode. It's epic. It's terrific. And with my last pick, I have a very good board left. There's a lot of places I can go, and I'm going to go with one of the most euphoric feelings in all of gaming, and that is when you get a gold scar in Fortnite. That is my last pick. OG Fortnite, there was that feeling. People were fighting. It ruined friendships. I opened the chest. I get this gold scar. Well, I picked it up. It is just so... It's so good. You feel powerful. That 34 number where your shots, if you hit them, it takes 3 shots compared to just 4 shots. Yeah, gold scar. Epic, terrific gun.
I have a few different directions I can go here.
We're going to have a long honorable mentions conversation, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I have the arm cannon from Metroid up here. I have the plasma cutter from...
I thought that's where you're going.
From Dead Space, but I'm going to go with my heart here. This is 2 weeks in a row where I'm going with my heart. I'm going to go with my 5th pick, the Thunder Gun. That's the best weapon in Zombies. Love it. Oh, it's just, there's something just so powerful about it. And it doesn't really have any like drawbacks either. It's your get out of jail free card in COD Zombies. And I love it. Oh,
yeah.
love
There's can we go into honorable mentions now? Yeah. The Glill was on my list from Zombies. The butt popper, the MP40 was on my list from Zombies.
The baby gun.
So then we're getting into the wonder weapons. The Wonderwaff is actually one of the most cool designed weapons where you hit one person and it electrocutes everyone in the horde around it. It is so visually satisfying, and also it fits the map perfectly that originally came out on Verrucht. And then the ray gun, just the iconic. Yeah,
you could go ray gun just for icon status, but you have to go with Thunder Gun for like the actual utility.
Yeah,
of
it's a better weapon. And then newer, the Apothecary Servant. You have an alien. You have an alien on your hand. Here's the thing, though: the process of it and the way it sucks zombies in, then just shoots them back. You are able to run back further and longer than just the initial punch forward. If you have zombies coming from behind you and in front of you, the Apothecary Servant brings them all in compared to just clearing out the wave in front of you. That's why it has less ammo. Infinitely replayable. It's a round infinity gun where the damage is endless. That's up there. And then going elsewhere, Hidden Blades. I thought about it. I
just don't like Assassin's Creed that much.
Every single Assassin's Creed trailer gets made by the Hidden Blades shot. Where it comes out, you're like, oh, shit.
It is iconic.
It's so good.
And when we're talking about weapons, I feel like the only word that I can keep thinking of is iconic.
Yeah.
It's funny.
You want me to come in with another one?
Yeah.
The Golden Gun from GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, yeah. I thought about putting that on there.
That was on my list. Obviously, instantly recognizable, and I assume people will in the main video on TikTok get in the comments about it, be like, where is that? Because it's
you do BFG from Doom as well.
Yep,
that was a choice that I thought about throwing in there. And then you could go like the star or the like the fire flower.
Yeah, fire flower
from Mario.
Is there any, like, I was thinking about just major franchises. What's the substance that you shoot yourself up with in Bioshock?
Plasmids.
Yeah, I was thinking about certain plasmids, which I would be like, that's a weird way to quantify it. But that's like some of the greatest weaponry and like just so sick. I'm
trying to think of a shotgun, like the Remington.
So I was gonna say the Resident Evil 4 shotgun and the Alan Wake 2 shotgun are both
really good.
Literally, like I thought about, and then I'm trying not to just utilize 2023 games. Obviously, it's the greatest year in gaming history, but the Chai's guitar I think is one of the coolest weapons in gaming. It's a literal scrap metal guitar that ends up being like you're just beating someone with a metal. Oh, sick. And then
Dante's sword. I thought about throwing on there, though I haven't played much Devil May Cry, so I felt like I didn't want to be a poser.
It's something that like I felt like was necessary to just say, even though it's not known for being a video game weapon, is certain lightsabers throughout.
Yeah, I saw lightsabers like when I was looking up weapons, and I was like, it's too related to movies.
Yeah, same with some of like the Batman weaponry from the Arkham games. I was like,
Yeah.
you can't throw any of that on there.
Yeah, that was the casual gaming conversation.
It was a quick one,
How long was that? Like 2 hours, probably.
hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Okay, nice. We are Co-op 64. We stream 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. We have some fun weekend streams coming up as well. Drunk Explain Kingdom Hearts and a Tetris stream from me this weekend.
Yep.
So tune into that. Put that on your calendar. It'll be a lot of fun.
And then literally throughout every single weekend of February, we have a bonus stream all leading into Final Fantasy VII Remake Subathon. This is something that we want to start promoting and talking about because it is going to be the largest undertaking in my creative career, Connor's creative career. We've done a 30-hour stream. We are planning to, if you guys fund it and deliver it,
48 hours.
beating the game.
Yeah.
And if we beat it fast enough, maybe we do integrate. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. New TikToks every day. We got some fun ones coming up this week. And the Casual Gaming Conversation posts 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Spotify on Mondays. So look forward to that every week. And thank you guys so much for spending this time with us and all the love and support. It's been awesome. Peace out.
Bye-bye.